Record. Okay, so if I start recording, I'm gonna share my screen. Ooh, I want to do it like this. Yeah, okay. That's cool. Cool. Long ago, in someone else's story, someone else's lifetime, who looked a lot like me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is walk you through what a typical, how do I apply to jobs? So where do we even start? Gosh. Okay, let's start with everything small. Nope. Gotta move things so I can see them. Okay. How do I apply to jobs? This is my way to do it. This is what works for me. This may or may not work for you. Try it out though, see if it works for you. So what's the very first thing I do? Well, let's find a job description. Let's find a requisition. So this is my LinkedIn. I'm going to go to home and there's probably going to be something on here, but let's go to jobs. I have looked at LinkedIn a lot, so there's a lot of jobs that have to do, like, this is not me, so I'm just going to remove this so that I'm not a voice user interface designer, although that would be cool, but that's not what I do. I am a UX researcher and a senior UX designer. I probably couldn't, I might be able to get away with senior UX researcher role, but for now, I just want to show you how I do things. Let's do, that looks a lot like Autodesk. That's interesting. I'm kind of curious. Adipar is a global technology and data company that helps investment professionals provide the most informed, precise guidance for their clients. Senior UX researcher. Yes. Takes market. The range displayed on each job posting reflects a minimum for Colorado, California, and New York. So I'm assuming that means it's mobile, although it says San Francisco Bay. I am in South Bay, Santa Clara, California. So, and because I'm not quite desperate for a job yet, but I am highly motivated, let's say. I'm willing to travel up to San Francisco in the peninsula. If it's a good job that, well, there's a lot of different factors, right? 5+ years, I have that. That's good. I have 5. I can stretch it and say 5+, which is fine. Technically, I have 5+ years in design, UX design, not UX research. So there's that. But I think it's okay to, as long as don't lie on your resume, don't lie on your portfolio, but if there's going to be something that you put on your portfolio to get to, like, apply for a job, at least be able to justify it. And I believe I can justify saying that I can, even though I don't have senior research roles on my resume, I feel confident in justifying that I can do and perform all the duties of a senior UX researcher. So I think that's important. Also, let's see, for Adaptar, a phishing scam. Recently made aware of a phishing scam. The imposters are creating leading email accounts, conducting remote interviews. Oh my gosh, making fake job offers. Why would anyone do that? Please be aware that no job offers will be made without a formal interview process. We will not ask you to purchase equipment or supplies. If you have any questions, reach out to TA info. Okay, I was making sure that this is not a requisition where they're saying, please send your resume here, instead of clicking apply. So I don't even bother looking at the skills anymore, but at first I used to look at them, and if I had them like quantitative data, I might say like, okay, let's add it. And now I have it. Um, uh, you know, and now I have all the skills, but I'm not convinced that it actually helps that much, especially since I'm actually surprised that there's not more C-suite or like principal designer or researchers applying for this role. This actually sounds like a reasonable spread, which is unusual. So let's say I want to apply for this job. I've already established that it's remote, which is good. I like that. I've established that I can do the duties of whatever this title is. I've looked into the company a little bit. Excuse me. I'm a bubbly person, so I will be burping a lot. I've skimmed this. I made sure that this is like within the range of what I need, right? I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so I cannot live off of less than a certain amount. Um, let's see. Can I lead it? Okay, so now looking at these, I've looked at those basic things, right? Now I'm going to apply for it. And the way that I'm going to apply for it is I'm first going to get before I even hit apply now, I'm going to get my resume. That's not my resume. I'm going to get my resume and cover letter ready. It's one of these. I'm just going to open it brand new. This is research, so I'm going to open my research one. And I realize I just flashed my personal information to you. Please don't abuse it. Just don't be a dick. Okay, so I've gone through each of these bullet points with a mentor and perfected them to how I feel is. I encourage you to do that with somebody of a senior or above level. It's great to do it with friends or peers, but you really need it to be somebody who is several steps above you and who is very close to, if not has hired before, so that they can tell you, and recently hired before, but also hired recently or interviewed recently, like as the interviewer, so that you know that what you have in your bullet points is the right kind of actionable and the right kind of impact and the right kind of, what actual hiring managers are looking for today, not 2019, today, 2024, or whatever year you're looking at this. Like, I think this is going to be around for forever. Okay, so what have I got? I'm going to change my title, senior, to match that. I want it to match senior user experience researcher. Okay, I have all of this. I know that it's Bay Area, so that's fine. I have heard from actual recruiters saying, thank you for putting this, because now it removes a lot of the cognitive load that I have to do asking people, well, are you open to hybrid? And they'll say no, and then that like wasted the whole amount of time or whatever. So just be honest, just be transparent. So what am I going to do with my resume? Like I said, these are pretty solid. Yes, they're a little long, but they've got what it is that I did, how I did it, and the impact that it had. What it is that I did, the impact it had, and the impact it had, So, as many impact things as 3 or 4, at least one per bullet point would be really good. And then obviously, hopefully you've gotten to the point where you've researched a lot of like what resumes are supposed to have, and they're supposed to have actionable first words and stuff: facilitated, followed, owned and led, responsible for, type of thing. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go over here, and because I know that most of these apply to almost every role that I want, I don't have to change them that much. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change up these things, because I know that this is going to be in there. Like, a senior researcher role is going to be asking for someone who can conduct research. And so I want to know, how are they asking that? Okay, so lead and manage end-to-end UX research projects, responsible for planning, execution, analysis, and reporting of qualitative and quantitative data. I'm just going to take that right there. And I'm going to say led and managed end-to-end UX research for the Siemens community onboarding experience. Let's see. And the only reason I'm copy and pasting it is because I actually did that. I'm not just lying on it. I'm just taking their words for what I've already done. I want to make that really clear. I'm not lying on any of this. Why does that say that this is wrong? For hyperlink. Let's try this. Okay. Present research findings and strategic recommendations. I also did that, and that one is here. So I'm going to do presented research findings and strategic means actionable insights and strategic recommendations to cross-functional stakeholders. I was able to speak the languages of various stakeholder audiences, such as developers, having been one previously, blah, 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 effectively communicate the value of UX. Effectively communicating project implications, constraints, needs, and value to more accurately define research goals as they pertain to medium and long-term product and business strategy, to encourage alignment on priorities and objectives as they pertain to medium and long-term business strategy, business priorities, and objectives. Do you see what I did there? I basically already had it written out, what they have on here. That's 2 bullet points right there. But what I did was I put it in their words. And hopefully, hopefully it will reach them better. Okay. They don't talk about Agile, so I'm going to. Do they talk about Agile on here? Let's do this. Find. Nope, they don't talk about Agile. Do they talk about Lean? Nope. So I'm just going to remove this one. Nope. There we go. Because if they don't say that it's important to them, it makes these 4 bullet points that much more important and easier to find, to read. Okay, expertise in various research methods, including usability testing. I know I don't specifically describe what kind of end-to-end research and what research I executed, but that can be saved for the first interview or the second interview, when they ask, well, what kind of research methods? And I'll tell them usability testing. I did stakeholder interviews, customer interviews. I did some surveys, although I'm mostly a qualitative researcher. I did not do that much contextual inquiry, so I probably won't bring that one up. I'll mostly focus on those. And then the strategic research that I did, which was like heuristic evaluations and competitive analyses and stuff like that. But not everything has to be on your resume. It is your initial handshake. And when you meet someone in person for the first time, you don't say, hi, this is my life story. You say, hi, this is my name. And, or this is what I do, or this is what I like, depending on the context and everything. But you don't have to, the resume is your initial handshake. You don't have to bash them over the head with every single thing you've ever done that relates to the role. Okay, our values. Act like an owner. So this is where I start to move on to, I feel good about this. That did not even take 5 minutes to change because I already had the foundation of what my resume says that already aligns with what they're looking for. And all I did was put it in their words. So now I'm going to move on to, let's save this. And what I do is I save it in my resumes for specific company. And this is going to be for Adipar. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So my job search, right? So I've got resumes and I've got cover letters and I've got generic resumes that are fairly straightforward. And this is like how I start off with them. I've gotten to a point where this is my skeleton, right? Let's make it so you can see this better. So I've got it so that I've got all the information that they need, which is my name, what it is, the date is for me. ATS friendly is because I hope that they see that even though it's not pretty, at least it should get through ATS very well. And then for me, I have at the end is what kind of role it is. So again, this is the skeleton. So this is my UX research internship. And then this is my UX research, UX designer, senior, or let's see, where did it go? Senior UX designer, right? And they're mostly the same, except again, it depends on what the company's words are for how they want to phrase all of those duties. Duties. Okay. I can tell I'm getting tired already. This is my first video. So anyway, so now I'm going to, what did I say? That was Adipar. I can't see it. Where is it? Adipar. There it is. Okay. So I have saved it as Adipar. So now I know that all I have to do when I start applying is literally attach it, and it is customized to that role, to that company. And that means that I have a type of version control now, because when I get that interview, I will look at the Adipar one. I'll have this open with my cover letter open and on a different screen. And so when they ask me questions, I know the language to use when I answer the questions about my resume, because I literally, again, took these words from the job description. So then what do I do now that I feel good about this? Well, it's already put in there, so let's save it, because why not? Now I'm going to do my cover letter, and I've not spent the time to try and figure out how to do this in Word. So I just left it in Pages. It's just going to be a PDF anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But looking again at our values, if they list what their values are and some of those align with your values, first of all, please know what your values are. You're a human being, and if you're applying to jobs, you're an adult. So it's probably a good idea to know what your values are. Like that whole thing of if you stand for nothing, or what is it? If you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. That doesn't apply here. I don't know why I brought that up. But basically, my core values are authenticity, integrity, inclusiveness, not inclusion necessarily, but inclusiveness. Words are very important to me. And so I'm deliberate about my words. And transparency. And so when I find a job description that has a company's values in it that align with me, I like to mention that in my cover letter. So what are their values at Adipar? Act like an owner. That's interesting. Think and operate with intention, purpose, and care. Own outcomes. Okay. I mean, that's not a core value of mine, but sure. Yeah, I can stand behind that. Build together. Collaborate to unlock the best solutions. Deliver lasting value. That to me, anytime there's like collaborate in there, that would be like working as a team, or like I said, inclusiveness. So building together and collaborating, that could be something that I talk about. Build together. This is notes for me. Inclusiveness. Champion our clients. Exceed client expectations. Our clients' success is our success. I mean, I don't know if that I would want that to be a value. That should be like a given, but that's fine. Drive innovation, be bold and unconstrained in problem solving, transform the industry. Okay. Embrace learning, engage our community to broaden our perspective, bring a growth mindset. I can stand behind that. I mean, I can stand behind all of them, but embrace learning, growth mindset. Proud to be an equal opportunity employer. They have to say that. That's fine. proactive in collaboration. So now I'm going to go back into their job description again and find areas of this of these two values of theirs that I can again use their words and then put my spin on it. So if I'm looking for excellent in communication and presentation skills, the ability to influence and drive decision making. So I'm going to what am I going to do? This is okay. Here's a thing that goes along with my transparency and authenticity values. I have 5 years of experience. They do not list how many, well, they list 5 years, okay, of experience. And I have 5 years of experience. Not going to talk about my undergrad because it's a senior role. And I'm going to fix the punctuation, primarily at enterprise companies. I understand you're seeking a candidate with 5+ years experience, but I'm fully able to translate the necessary skills and able to do so. Let's see, this was for a different role, so let's see. It's weird doing it when I feel like somebody's watching me, even though I don't even feel like anyone's going to watch this video. But I don't, let's see. It's just slice of life, slice of applying to jobs, and I need water. I've been in UX industry for 5 years now, primarily at enterprise technology companies. I understand you're seeking a candidate with 5 years experience for this senior user experience researcher role at Adapar. But I am confident I have the required skills and experience to perform this senior's duties. Most recently, I spent 3 years as lead UX researcher and designer on the Siemens software online community, where I led and managed the end-to-end UX research, including strategic discovery, transform insights into actionable, do user base, staying abreast of industry trends. What happened to the, oh, there it is. Okay. Including discovery, interviews, testing, usability testing, and more. And translated, let's go back to that. No homework. Okay, so right now, I'm gonna use, where did it go? And presented research findings as whenever you change something, make sure to update it. Add a par. Replace. Replace. Add a par. As yes, okay, that was updated. Okay. As actionable insights and strategic recommendations to cross-functional stakeholders. Influencing and driving strategic decision making. Okay. I drove business and member-centered strategy and bridged the gap between the voice of the customer and business goals. Some recent accomplishments. I'm going to take these. Give it some space to breathe. Okay. So I could just go without using this. Excuse me, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this at the end because basically I'm begging. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna put it here. Oh. I need a massage. Okay, what am I gonna do here? Well, first of all, okay, is it the 19th? Yes. Is this senior user experience researcher added par? Usually that's the first thing I do, so that would have been really embarrassing. What is the team? The role. You'll play pivotal role understanding. Your recruiter can share more about the space rally. Does it say what team we'll be working on? Teams, junior team members, broader design team. As a mentor guide, encourage continuous learning and growth for junior team members in the UX research and broader design team. So that sounds like it's just the UX team, which is fine. Okay, so let's see here. Did I spell this right? Adepar. Adepar. Yes. Okay. And they said something about mentoring. Sometime, well, right now I would probably take a break. Pretty tired, but let's finish this. Okay. How am I going to tell them I build together and embrace learning? Why am I doing this part? Why am I doing this first chapter or this first paragraph that talks about their values? Well, first of all, I'm trying to show that I care about the company, even though we all know that nobody really cares about the company until you get to know them and actually work there. So know where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. Make smarter investment decisions and drive greater outcomes for the portfolios in your care. What kind of portfolios? A platform built to simplify complexity. Everybody's saying that. All the platform companies are saying they are all about simplifying complex problems. There's a trend to that. Okay, Adapar empowers investment professionals across the globe with data, insights, and cutting edge technology. Okay. A complete transformative technology and data platform. Interesting. It's just a dashboard. Lots of dashboards. Collective intelligence, shared reward. Altogether better. We're hiring. Let's see what they say. What will you add? Reject. Add a little. Why is it? Design process is creating intuitive solutions. How wealth is put to work. Unified data model and architecture for trillions of dollars in global assets together with our clients. We have one aim to help their clients realize their goals and make more informed. I'm so confused who their customer is because it sounded like at first it was consumers and now it sounds like it's business to business to help those businesses clients. That's fine. You don't have to understand exactly what the company does to help them improve. Driven by our values. Is that what was on the? Oh yeah, bold and constrained. Okay, so what are we gonna do? I'm gonna be bold. I'm so tired. And no, that's done. Honestly, because I'm so tired and because I don't really know that much about this role and because it's a senior role and I don't know that I would actually get it, even though it's one step above what I could get, I would probably put this guy at the very top and then launch it. But because I'm trying to show you how I would apply, like legitimately apply for a job that I actually want, I'll try and it's hard. Let's just do that. It's really difficult to come up with stuff for a company that you don't really connect with. I've never met anyone who works here. I don't know anything about the company other than what their marketing website has told me. So there's no real like incentive to customize this more than I already have. And frankly, I would like the time to be able to work on cover letters and resumes that do get me excited. And also all the other things that I have to do as an adult. So let's see if I can incorporate this into this first paragraph instead. So I've been embracing learning in the UX industry for 5 years now. Cultivating my growth mindset and building exceptional user experiences, primarily at enterprise technology companies. Boom. I understand you're seeking a candidate with 5+ years experience for the senior UX research role at Adipar, and I'm confident I have the required skills and experience to perform this senior's duties. I also currently mentor, we don't need to say that. That's fine. That took 10 minutes to write one sentence. I wish it hadn't. Maybe if I hadn't been recording this, it wouldn't have, but now this is a here's a question / concern that may have crossed your mind. This looks like a lot of words. And you would be right. And one thing that I have had to accept, to come to terms with and accept, is that if people are not okay taking the time to look at this, that's not going to be a good team for me to work on because I am verbose, I am detailed, I am organized. And if that's not what they're looking for, I have dodged a bullet by them not reading this. That said, there are always instances where, someone might be just really busy and this is the end of their day and you just happened to be the last application that they looked at before they're like ready to go home and they don't want to read that. And again, it's a risk that I'm willing to take. So you have to decide if you are willing to take that risk as well. So I'm going to upload this. Are you authorized? Without, yes. Are you 18 or over? Yes. I'm going to put my .com/in/Liz Freemer. Memorize your LinkedIn profile, please. Are you currently employed at a competitor? Nope. For information, I acknowledge this. That's fine. We don't have to read it. I decline. I decline. I decline. I decline. Feel free to ask me why I decline. I have reasons. And that's it. So sorry. I don't know what that word is, but we're not totally done because here's a very, very important part of applying to jobs. Keeping track of them. What have I just applied for? I applied for a UX research position, senior user experience researcher at Adipar. Oh, it's gone. Usually I do this first so that once it's gone, I think it's on site. It's at San Francisco. Adipar. 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 Where did I find this? I found this on LinkedIn, so I'm not going to write anything. But basically, I have like, did I apply for it myself on the company website? Did I easy apply on LinkedIn? Was I submitted by a recruiter? Did I get to speak with a recruiter? Like have a phone screen with them? Because I don't consider that an interview because what does not work for me in getting a job is I've noticed that when I talk to third-party recruiters, so recruiters who work at an agency, who for whom the company they're hiring is their client, I don't tend to get those jobs. I don't know why. I haven't figured it out, but I know that that doesn't work for me. However, I'm doing the research to find out if there are any correlations with that for when I do get interviews and stuff. Also, I have when I get an interview, when I get a second interview, if I get rejected, I try to come back in here as soon as I get that email and I mark it as rejected. Was I referred by somebody? And then whether it was remote or on site. And then I also try to keep so anything that's in here that doesn't have a note, that means I just applied and didn't do anything special with it. And when I say nothing special, I mean nothing special aside from a cover letter, a resume, and submitting my portfolio, because those are the bare minimum that I do. And the bare minimum being just what you saw. It takes a lot less time than what this video is because I'm not speaking it out loud as I do it each time. But like I might go in and say, like, I emailed my resume and cover letter to the email address that they listed because that's what they requested on the job description. And then when I had the interview, this particular one was a volunteer position, so that's not a great example. But like, for example, my interview with, this is a good example, my interview with Workiva. So it started off as applied. Actually, it started off as referred. Then I was referred. I applied through the portal. I had a phone interview. I had my first phone screen with the recruiter. Then I had a first interview, then a second interview, which was a panel presentation, another phone call with the recruiter, which was to tell me that they really, really liked me. But oh no, that was just to talk compensation. And then the final interview happened. And then I had another phone call with the recruiter about how much they liked me, but that they went with someone who had just a little bit more experience because again, I'm trying to do research and they wanted a designer. So then I marked it as rejected. because that's what happened. And when I chat with the my friend Alex, who referred me and who ended up being the hiring manager, I'm going to make a note in here about that, or I'll make a new one. And when a new role comes up, I'll make that too. And then, so then what I can do is basically sort everything by, I think it's in data, sort everything by specific data points, right? So how many times have I applied to Acrya? And did anything happen? So if it still says applied and it's like a month ago, that means I was ghosted. And that is really good information to have. And that's going to be, let's say, a big, very large percentage of your jobs, but that is also the way it is right now. But then I can also sort by rejected, and I can see, well, what kind of roles did I apply to? Okay, this was a referred role. I didn't even write that this was referred. Oh, but it's right here because these are the referrals. So connections at the company / referrals. And then I can start seeing, like, are there any trends to how I apply, when I get interviews, when I get jobs, and at what point do I get rejected? And I can start to take that data and I can start to really figure out what works for me and what doesn't. So that is, I'm going to end there. If you have questions, let me know. But essentially, that's how I do it. I'm going to stop. Oop. No. I don't know what I just did. Hopefully it's still recording. Yes. So that's what I do. Here's my little puppy. Hi, little puppy. Someday she'll have to start applying for jobs for me. I'll teach her to type, and then I can just sit back while she gets me a job. I suppose that's what AI does, but I don't trust it yet. Not fully. Yay, I did it. My first video, my first slice of career video. It's weird not having live questions. So I'll post this. If you have any questions, let me know. Maybe I'll do another video on something else, like if it's a job that I really, really love or something. But yeah, ask me questions, all the things. Bye.